Everyone, this is David Owen with Chainscape Web, and welcome to this episode of Real Producers Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Don Thurman of Consort Homes. We'll learn more about our company and find out what makes them unique in this competitive housing market. Hi, Don.
Good afternoon.
Could you give us a little background about you and your company?
Sure. My name is Dawn Thurman. I am the marketing manager for Consort Homes. We are a small production builder. I know a lot of folks, when I say we are small and we build about 100 houses a year, say that's not really small.
Yeah.
But we are not a custom builder. We are a production builder. So against the other production builders in the area, we are a smaller company. Like I said, we build about 100 houses a year. We are a family owned and run company. So we are not only do we build fewer homes than some of those other companies, we are a lean, mean machine. We have about 20 to 25 full and part-time employees in our office. And that's within our corporate office, our sales team, and our field manager. So we are kind of just like a little family.
So production to custom is kind of an obvious distinction, but what makes you different in the production world?
So as far as production, just for those that may not understand the difference between the terms, with a production builder, you don't go and start with an architect and pick your land. We build our plans, and we have a couple different collections of plans, and we build them primarily in subdivisions. So that's kind of a nice feature, because we can typically build a little faster than if it's custom, because you don't have to completely start from scratch. We're ready to go.
It seems to me there would be issues if you're trying to do a custom home on a lot that is not the right size, the right grade.
Right. So with a production builder and building in subdivisions, we have all of that already lined up and ready to go and ready to build. We can build our plans on someone's lot, but it is usually not feasible for most folks, because while they're thinking it's going to be cheaper for them to build on their own property because they own that lot, they don't understand that there is a lot of development that goes into it, that when we're doing in a subdivision, that's already built into the cost of your home. So like getting street in there, getting your sewers in there, making sure there's water and electricity available on a lot. So all those things are already done when we're building in a subdivision.
Well, how long have you guys been around?
So the Jones Company started in 1927, and they actually started more as a commercial builder and moved into the residential side. And they built here in St. Louis for many, many years as the Jones Company. Back in the 80s, they sold the company. So then it went to a national builder. And then in the early 2000s, we actually started as Consort Homes. And the kind of unique thing is that all the while we were still running as the Jones Company in Nashville, Tennessee. So a lot of our homes kind of have a Southern charm look to them. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where our look comes from, is from that Nashville area.
Yeah, that brings up another point. Are you just in one part of St. Louis? Sounds like you're out of town as well. Tell a little bit about locations.
So right now we are building in Eureka. So that's in Jefferson County. And then we are building primarily in St. Charles County and St. Charles City. We are up by Newtown. We are in a couple communities right off of the 364 corridor. We are coming out in O'Fallon, kind of on the Wentzville border. We're going to be opening there soon. But primarily we are in the St. Charles area, though.
Okay. And you mentioned that your production leads me to think everything looks the same.
That's what you would think, but we really do pride ourselves on making sure that our streetscapes especially are unique. So therefore, like all of our clients will they'll sit down with our designer, and we will make sure that no two homes that are side by side, or even the homes across the street from you, look identical to what you're building. That means you cannot, while you may have the same floor plan, every floor plan has multiple elevations. We have anywhere from 4 to 12
Wow.
exteriors that you can choose from depending on the floor plan. And then not only does your exterior look have to be different, then your color scheme cannot be the same. And we make sure that is the 2 houses on either side of you and the 3 houses across the street from you. So we really make sure that we are not building a cookie cutter community.
Okay. Yeah. But because that would be the first thing I would think when I hear production is everything looks like the same cracker box when next to each other.
Right. And we really do a good job of keeping from that look. While yes, we do have a collection of townhomes that we build, but even then the buildings, every building has a different color scheme than the building next door. So even when we're building something that is very cookie cutter look, we make sure it's not identical by any means.
Yeah. So then it doesn't look like row houses.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about the company. What makes you different from other production builders?
So I think there's 2 things that I feel like really set us apart. And one thing is we really focus on all of our homes in doing energy efficient everything. We are making sure that our homes are airtight, so your airflow, you're not bringing in all those allergens. We're making sure that our appliances are all energy efficient, even down to our plumbing fixtures. We make sure that those are gonna, help you save on your utility bills. So a lot of folks, when they are, even if they're upgrading, they're going into more square footage. A lot of times they're saving a lot more money on their utility bills. So while their house payment may go up, their utility cost, even in a bigger home, are at least staying the same, if not going down significantly because of that energy efficiency. So I think that's really a great thing. And we're constantly working with our vendors and making sure that we are keeping the top of the line and not only doing things to code, but often above and beyond what the codes are. So we're kind of cutting edge on that, which I think is really cool. And then the other thing that I really find great about Consort is we really are looking at the buyer, and we are trying to ensure that they can live in their homes for a long time. And so we came out with a universal design floor plan several years ago. And basically we took our most popular ranch plan and we edited it to be universal design. And so standard options that are included into that plan are wider hallways. We include a ramp into the home, so you have a 0 entry into your home through your garage, which to me, that's amazing. So you don't have a wooden ramp or, even a concrete ramp leading up to your home, making it look like the home is more accessible. It just looks like the house next door. So I think that's really cool. And then within the home, we also have ensured that one bathroom has a 360-degree radius and a 0 or a low entry shower, depending on the need.
Okay.
So it could be the homeowner that needs or wants this low entry shower, or it could be that they have a child, or that maybe they're moving in parents that just need a little bit more ease of accessibility. So we make it into the hall bedroom or hall bathroom versus the primary bath. So we have some flexibility in that floor plan.
Yeah, and that brings up another point. Or in my mind, do you build plans that have in-laws quarters?
So we have a couple of homes that it's not technically an in-law quarter, but they are very multi-generational friendly. One of my favorite floor plans, it's called our Braxton. It's a 1.5 story plan. And not only does it have a primary bedroom suite, but it also has a secondary bedroom as the standard on the main floor with a full bath.
Okay.
And then you can put all your children upstairs.
Yeah, exactly. Let them tear the place up upstairs.
Yes, they can leave their toys out or their Xboxes or whatever, and it's perfectly fine. No one has to see it.
That's right. That's right. I call that the party house. Send them out to
Absolutely.
party.
I mean, and what's great about that is it does have like a bonus room space. So it does give them their own like living area along
Yeah.
with the bedrooms and the baths. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
neat.
yeah.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you, when my grandson comes and visits, our house is a disaster.
It's chaos,
When
right?
he leaves, he gets everything out and just leaves it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a great feature.
Yeah.
Um, so you talked about locations, and are you planning any events in those locations? Where can people come to see you?
So all of our communities right now have display homes, so they are always welcome to stop into our displays. They're open every day from 11 to 5, excluding, some of the major holidays.
Mhm.
But as far as an event, we do have, we're partnering with the Real Producers. We will be doing their quarterly event out at our newest community, Cotterville Trails. So folks will get to come in and see our display and play some casino games and then visit some of the other builder displays as well.
Is that home site in St. Charles area?
It is. It's in Cottleville, so it's right off of 364 in Gutermuth.
Okay.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah. No, thank you. And you said all those homes, irrespective of the event, are open 11 to 5
Mm-hmm.
place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Um, let's see. So you mentioned the build on your property kind of approach where you could bring your plans and build on land that they already own. What's
Mhm.
required or what is recommended in that approach?
So we'll work with a buyer, to ensure that their property is feasible for us to even build on. And then
Mhm.
once we do the construction, we are responsible for basically putting the hole in the ground for your foundation and doing your bricks and sticks up. And the homeowner is responsible for making sure the site is accessible. So if there's any trees that need to be removed or grading that needs to be done to get there, then they're responsible also for putting in any of those utilities that I mentioned earlier, the
Okay.
sewers, the water, the electric, and then they're also then after the build responsible for putting in their driveway
Okay.
or prior to construction, rocking in the driveway so that our equipment can get there.
Okay. Okay. So what's the typical duration of a project? Once
Right
you
now,
decide
we're
on
at
the
about a 9-month build process.
okay. So once you decide on a plan slash elevation,
Mm-hmm.
you work from that point and you could figure 9 months.
So I would say figure maybe 10 because we do have about a month in the background of getting your permits together, making
Okay.
sure plans are going through the city and all approved. Oftentimes, as a subdivision is there a bit, our plans are already approved, so there's not as much lead time on that. But that's, getting the yard staked and the plot plan available and all those details. So it's about like once you sign a contract, it's usually about a month that looks like we're doing nothing, but we really are working behind the scenes to get the property ready to go. And
Yeah.
then once we start that dig process, our I feel like our sales team is a little bit more on the consultative side. So they'll walk you through like what kind of things are you looking that you need in this house? What things are you going to want in this house? So they kind of walk you through that. And then the nice thing is once that build starts, as soon as we're putting in that foundation, our sales team and our field managers will sit down every week and they make phone calls to those buyers and they talk about the progress of the home, what's coming soon, what have we done this week, if there's any questions, and just making sure that a buyer is really comfortable and is understanding the process as we go along.
Yeah, it's really nice because having built a home, you got to go out every day and see what's going on yourself.
I'm
Well,
not saying
that's
people don't do
exciting.
that. They definitely do that.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting because that
It is.
adds to the fun of it.
Yeah.
But it also adds to the concern when you don't see things happening the way you envision they should happening. So I
Right.
think that effective communication back to a buyer is vital.
Absolutely. And that kind of alleviates issues too. Like if we had, something happen on the job site, we unfortunately had, a window got broken
Right.
early on in not long after the windows went in. So the house was pretty much still in that frame stage before
Uh-huh.
drywall was going up. And the homeowner was like, "You broke a window. When are you going to fix the window? Don't worry, we're going to fix the window
Yeah.
before you close. But I'm not in a hurry to replace the window because if it broke once, I don't want it to break a second time."
Right.
So, so those phone calls really do help to alleviate some of that. We can be like, just so you know, if you haven't been out on your property, this window is broken. We are well aware of it. It is on order. It will be replaced. We are going to wait until this stage
Okay.
to
That
put that
makes sense.
new window in. So it relieves that anxiety from folks.
Well, to me, that demonstrates experience.
Yeah.
You've been through it before, and you know the proper way to handle the situation. Whether it's talking to the prospect / home buyer, or just what you need to do to make it work.
Right.
So, well, and then once you get to the end state, you have to pay for it. So, how do you handle that?
So we do have a preferred lender that we utilize. I'm not saying that folks can't bring their own lender because I know people have relationship with them, but we
Yep.
really do try to have them utilize our lender just for the fact that new construction is slightly different than buying a resale home.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows the process, he knows the ins and outs, he knows at what point documents are due, and he is going to do everything possible to make sure that home closes. So, we've had a few buyers over the last several years that have done those 800 number lenders, and
Yeah.
they don't understand new construction, and there has been closing issues, and we don't want it to come to closing day and then them go, "Well, we didn't collect your W-2s for the last 6 months."
Right.
Because your house was in the build process, you were still
Right.
waiting for a house. They need that documentation. So we really try to push folks to use our lender, and then not only our lender, but then our title company because they're close by. So if they need other documentation, it's easy to get in and out of our office and back to the title company quickly with documentation if something is missing or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, and everybody knows the process. One of the biggest things I think is anticipating the unknown,
Right.
and that's the challenge. And for
Right.
the first time builder, family that's building a house for the first time, that would be something they need to have some advice and consulting
Absolutely.
counsel.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And I really our guys, his name's Matt, and I mean Matt, I feel like he's kind of come alongside of Consort, and he kind of knows, like, obviously the Consort way, so he kind of becomes another face in the consulting area. So like if somebody's confused about what's happening next in the build process, he
right.
kind of he knows the process. So while he's going to say, well, this is what's coming next, but just reach out to your sales manager, they'll tell you XYZ, so
Yeah.
he really kind of fits into our little family too.
So he's kind of the guy that's remain calm. We got this handled. We know how this works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Little extra hand holding is always good.
That's yeah. I can definitely understand that. You don't want to be on the hook for a bunch of money that you can't get access to.
Right.
So, all right. So, how should people contact you?
So they are welcome to always go onto our website, which is consort-homes.com. So that's
Okay.
CONSORT-HOMES.com. And they can look through, they can find where we build. They can see, I have a great photo gallery and video gallery there that they can kind of do like the Matterport tours through a few houses. I have like the little walkthrough videos that they can, feel like they're walking through a display house without actually leaving their comfort or their pajamas in the living room, which is
Sure.
awesome. Or obviously, all our addresses for our display homes are on there. They can go and visit our displays any day of the week.
Great. I mean, I think availability when you want to do it is important, and having a cup of coffee on the kitchen table with the PC, it's
Absolutely.
sometimes the best way.
Yes. I mean, it kind of gives you a good feel, and then you know what you're walking into too. If you're, if you've seen a Sierra on my website, then you go and you see a Sierra, you're like, this is exactly what it looked like. This is what I remember. So it is kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that is nice. So they're real pictures. They're not just pictures of how
Correct. I don't have any virtual staging on there at all. There are definitely a few homes that I did video and photograph that are vacant. They were like some of our spec homes that I've done, just so I have layouts and people can get an idea of the plans. But so if it's missing furniture, you know why.
Sure. Well, that's because it's available.
It's available. That's right.
Yeah.
And that is the thing. Like, we also, in every community, we build homes that are available for purchase, that they don't have to wait the duration of build time, because we've already put them together. They're already under construction, and we have that going constantly. So like right now we have 5 homes in various communities that you can move in tomorrow.
Wow.
Obviously, you got to get your financing right.
Yeah. Well,
so I mean, we can't do a close date necessarily tomorrow, but they are ready and they are available to move in. So you don't have to wait for that close date. And what's really nice is those are good for relocation clients. And it's also good for those that want to move into a new home, but they're a little gun shy about making all of those selection choices. Some people, it's overwhelming to think, I have 15 countertops I have to choose from, or I have 15 different cabinets to choose from. I am not a designer by any means. And just the fact that someone's already chosen all that and they've made it a beautiful home sounds good to me.
Yeah. I'll take 3 of those, right?
Exactly. Oh, I don't have to choose a paint color.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of the toughest things is to try and figure out what it's going to look like. Paint looks different.
Yes.
And in the swatch and on the wall.
Absolutely. It's all the lighting.
Right. And it's when it's wet, it looks different than when it's dry, and it just drives you crazy.
Absolutely. One thing that I thought was really, really interesting that I've learned now, being part of a new construction world, is that all new homes are painted with flat paint. Just because if there's a smudge or a nick on a wall, the touch up, it goes much easier with flat paint. And I'm like, interesting. So now my current house, I'm like, flat paint sounds like a good idea.
Or at least satin. So easier.
Exactly.
Okay. Any other things that we ought to talk about?
I think we covered a lot.
All right. Well, that's great. And I really appreciate your time. And thanks for joining the podcast and
absolutely
giving us the information. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David. It was fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye.